Hello, everybody, and welcome to Turn to Page 34, The Elevator to Nowhere. How you doing, Raps?
I'm doing pretty damn good in yourself, Rita.
Oh, I'm scared. That harsh language. Please darn me. Please warn
Sorry.
me before you say that word. Oh,
Now,
heavens.
Rito, I was talking about a stick structure made by otters.
I know, that's what I'm afraid of.
Fair point, well made.
Please.
They darned the river.
They
My
darned,
apologies.
please darn the river. Oh boy. This book and cover. So here's the thing. Like, I don't know if you've done this. I think especially for the first like 20-ish. Like, I kind of flipped through the covers because I was excited and I was going through them, and I kind of was like, yeah, I can't wait until we get to this book, that book, this book, that book, and I don't know if it came from the internet, just kind of like acted as a hard stop for me mentally, because the fact that this book, The Elevator to Nowhere, exists, I just like, this cover is completely foreign to me. I've never even seen a glimpse of it. I never remembered there being a book, a book centered around the premise of elevating. Just all of it. Were you the same way? Where you said, well, I guess spoilers for the past. This escaped your memory as well, perhaps?
It entirely escaped my memory as well. It has the effect that people might be familiar with from, like, I guess, like a new American weird kind of like horror genre, or like Eldritch and cosmic horror as well has a lot of this, the unknowability of a thing and the fact that your brain just slides off of it. There is something about the almost mundanity of an elevator to nowhere, and this, bespectacled man on the cover looking a little bit like, I guess, an extremely aged neocortex.
Yeah, I can see it.
Is just, it deletes itself from my mind when I'm not looking at it. I'm scared that if I should turn around right now, I would forget that we're recording the podcast.
And what book is this we're reading today? What the heck is this? Have you heard of this one? Elevator to Nowhere. This is my first time seeing this. Have you seen? Huh.
And this is a Goosebumps
It is
book?
a Goosebumps
I thought
book?
I knew all of those.
Interesting.
I'm a Goosebumps expert, as you can see from our navigation of previous Goosebumps trivia in the Goosebumps books.
100%. 100%. I don't know. Perhaps something about it came from the internet acts as a kind of a blocker for me. Okay. All right. That's enough. This is the bit to nowhere. So, alas, any other things you want to say about this cover, I guess?
Oh, I absolutely need to tell you a couple of things about this cover, and that is that, like, despite what I'd said previously, this is possibly one of the most horrifying covers for me, and it's horrifying in a very specific way of, this could happen. Like, I'm not gonna suddenly become a plant, right? I'm not gonna suddenly take a kip and wake up as a gargoyle or anything of that. Like, those are all beyond the realm. However, this is just a dude with his head and hands caught in an elevator that seems to be terrified about the situation.
Yeah.
It's a terrestrial horror. This is familiar. There's an elevator outside. I can go through one door and reach an elevator.
Yeah. This is some Final Destination stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, I want it known that 6 is highlighted on the elevator. Perhaps that will mean something later. Probably not. I have written it down on a piece of paper, just the number 6. I hope this helps. But
I too hope it does. I gotta say as well, for an elevator to nowhere, it has 7 different locations it goes to.
Yeah, but does it ever get there? Oh. I think that's the whole thing. But hey, do you want to perhaps beware us?
Hold your horses there, buddy.
Whoa. What, is there something you would like to inform us about?
There's almost certainly something I'd like to inform us about, and that is the fact that as of last episode, this podcast is now powered by Patreon as well, by the way, for those of you in the less international markets. Any and all support on patreon.com/turntopagecast goes directly into the production quality of the show, buying the necessary books to complete the Goosebumps, art for the series, a theme song, and possibly more. So that again is patreon.com/turn-to-pagecast.
Turn to Pagecast, patreon.com/turn-to-pagecast if you're a big fan of the gridiron. Is that football? American football? I think so.
I think it is. It's appropriately alien to me that it might be American football. It is two things, another culture and sports.
Yeah. And you can tell from my confidence that I also think that's pretty, hell, it could just be a cooking thing. Actually, I'm more familiar with a cooking thing than I am with either American things or sports. I feel like I'm a bad American. I'm sorry. I'm not familiar with many things.
You're right. If you don't know all of the sports in alphabetical order.
Air hockey. Your turn.
Oh. Basketball.
Bocce ball.
Right, okay, so we're not doing one per letter. We're doing it alphabetically in general. Got it. I'm going to go to zebra. That might be a sport. You don't know? You can't check me on that.
Oh,
You just said you don't know about sports.
Zebra racing. Why not? There you go. All right, okay, beware us.
Don't read the book from beginning to end. Excellent. You've got an automatic A on your science project because your friend's uncle Darius is going to help you. And Darius is an inventor. But then Darius tests out his new invention, an elevator that takes people to other dimensions. And when he returns, he's different. You notice that when he tries to cut off your head with a machete. Oh no, he's not the real Uncle Darius. He's just a copy from a parallel universe. Can you use the elevator to rescue the real Darius? Hurry, before the copy cuts your head off and adds it to his shrunken head collection.
Why is it always shrunken heads with you, Goosebumps?
Why? I know! I almost wonder if, alternate dimensions, shrunken head collection. Is it possible that the fake Darius is one of the previous antagonists who had a shrunken head collection?
It could be. But
I'm hoping.
Yeah, I know that he's not my real uncle when he tries to use a machete to cut off my head. The real Uncle Darius
my real
uses
uncle
an
would have
axe.
used a sword.
Ah, dang it.
Yeah,
I win.
Damn it.
I win.
Yeah, you do.
All right, page 1. This science project is going to be a snap. You were totally dreading it, and then you teamed up with Jamie. Not only is she the smartest girl in class, her uncle Darius is a real live inventor. I'm so confused already.
The law has been contradicted already.
Yeah, and he's real live inventor. Okay. Sorry.
With your uncle's help, we'll ace this project.
You tell Jamie as you walk towards Darius's house.
Well, probably.
Jamie answers.
The important thing is to not let Uncle Darius get carried away. He can be a little, extreme sometimes. Extreme?
You repeat.
Extremely extreme.
She warns.
Once he had me test out these escalator shoes he invented. I was stuck on the ceiling for 2 hours.
You picture Jamie hanging upside down and laugh out loud. She punches you in the shoulder.
Ow!
You cry. She's as strong as she is smart.
Just don't ask him about demonstrating any of his inventions.
She cautions.
They hardly ever work the way you think they will.
She comes to a stop.
Well, here we are.
When you see the house, your eyes open wide. Really wide. Go to page 2.
It's interesting.
You manage. What you mean is, it's creepy. The windows are broken and barred, the paint is flaking off, the yard is full of dead leaves, and it looks as if no one's lived here for 100 years.
He doesn't keep it up very well.
Jamie explains.
Too busy inventing things, maybe?
You suggest. You jump as something runs across your feet, but then you realize it's just a cat.
Oh, poor Sapphire.
Jamie sighs.
Uncle Darius never remembers to feed her. We'll feed you on the way out, Saf.
The cat stares hungrily up at you. Then she disappears into the untrimmed bushes. Jamie pushes open the door. You're surprised the house is so dark. There's not much furniture, just bizarre machines. They seem to crouch in the shadows, waiting.
He must be in the lab,
Jamie whispers.
Why are we whispering?
You whisper back.
I don't want to disturb him.
She answers.
He's kind of excitable when he's working. Extreme and excitable.
You mutter.
Great.
Just then, a pair of hands grab your shoulders. Grab a hold of page 3. Can't. The hands lift you up and turn you around. You find yourself facing an old man wearing a loud Hawaiian shirt and thick glasses.
Hello, Jamie!
He booms.
I'm over here.
Jamie shouts from behind you. Uncle Darius squints at you, peers at Jamie, and then drops you back to the floor.
Oh, that's right. You are.
He declares.
Well, come on into the lab.
You rub your shoulders as you follow the two of them. Darius is really strong, like a giant version of Jamie. You follow them into the lab. Awesome. Every square inch is filled with gizmos and gadgets.
You said on the phone that you're doing a science project?
Darius says.
I'd be glad to help. I was just about to test my trans-universal transvator.
He gestures towards a huge machine towering against a wall. It has sliding doors right in the middle with a big button to one side.
It looks like an elevator.
You observe. Wait a second. This is a one-story house. Why would he build an elevator?
Yes, but instead of going to other floors,
Darius explains.
it goes to other universes.
You stare at Darius. Gee, you think. Jamie never mentioned that her uncle was completely crazy. Go to page 4. You decide to humor him.
That sounds cool. Maybe I could take a ride in it.
Right before they cart this guy to the loony bin, you add to yourself. Rude. Jamie punches you again. Ow.
Oh, no. Too dangerous. Much too dangerous.
Darius mutters.
You see, other universes look all exactly like this one. At first, anyway, but usually there's one little difference, just a deadly little difference.
You study his face. He sounds as if he knows what he's talking about. His words send a chill along your spine. Turn to page 136. Oh my god, what a jump that is. Sorry.
Let me run just one more test, and maybe I'll bring you back a souvenir.
Darius bounds towards the machine. He pushes the button and the doors slide open. He jumps inside and the doors close.
He is excitable.
You comment to Jamie.
In the extreme.
She mutters. The transvator starts to groan and shudder. Oh, the whole house starts to shake, making your teeth rattle. The lights dim. Finally, the machine trembles to a stop with the doors. When the doors slide open, Darius glances around. He seems confused, as if he can't figure out where he is. His eyes land on you, and he smiles.
I have something for you.
He growls. His voice sounds weird, different somehow. He hands you a box. You open it and scream. Inside the box, there's a shrunken head. And one more thing. It's your shrunken head. Go ahead. Get ahead on page 5.
You open the box and scream, "Ah, it's a shrunken head!" Oh, also it's mine.
Oh yeah, one more thing. Oh yeah. It's me, though. You stare at the horrible, terrifying thing. It has your eyes, your mouth, your hair. It's a shrunken version of you. You feel sick just looking at you.
What? I mean, how?
You whimper.
Do you like it?
Uncle Darius asks. He smiles a nasty, teeth-baring smile. Jamie grabs your arm.
We have to go now.
She stammers.
Oh, we just remembered we have to study for a math test.
I'm sure you don't need to study.
Uncle Darius says to you.
Not with such a good head on your shoulders.
He raises one hand high, and you gasp when you realize what he's holding. A gleaming, curved knife, almost as long as a sword. Raps, you do win. You can't believe this is happening. He takes a step forward and swings the knife at your neck. Should you duck and try and knock Darius over, or run for the door? Think fast and try not to lose your head. If you duck, turn to page 85. If you run, go to page 102. The thing that's funny about this, I mean, maybe this is different. The first decision of the past, I don't know, 8 books has been your 2 divergent major storyline paths. And they've made a lot more sense as far as, well, if you go here, then obviously you're in a completely different place. This is ducking or running, and it's going to, is it actually going to, I don't know, maybe we could die.
I don't think this is a divergent. I think we die if we try and duck and knock Darius over. And my assumption here is entirely based on the fact that I hope they're capitalizing upon the foreshadowing they did in Darius being thick as hell. My man got muscles, tree trunk legs, he's got boulder shoulders, that it was described that he is very surprisingly strong. I just don't think we can be capable of knocking this guy over. The deadly difference, I'm assuming, is the knife and not, the thickness of this man's musculature.
It's true. I will mention, previous Uncle Darius was super strong. Do we know that this one is? Maybe not.
No, but that's the assumption that the difference between the universes is the knife and not the
maybe the deadly
bulk.
difference is deadly for him because he's not ripped. He's not absolutely yoked in this universe, and that's what leads to his death. Got him?
Look, we 100%ed one of the earlier books. We had a no death route already. We do not need to succeed here. Do we want to find out what happens if we try and duck and headbutt this man?
I kind of want to choose PvP.
Let's do it.
Let's go to the Wildy. Oh my. All right. 85. There's 2 sounds. Me hit you, you hit floor. You hit the floor. The knife whistles over your head. It misses you by a fraction of an inch. You roll into Darius's legs. He tumbles over you and onto the floor. Jumping to your feet, you glance around for Jamie. She's disappeared. Darius rises and he leaps towards you, swinging the knife. You stumble backwards, trying to stay out of reach of the deadly blade. Oh, the deadly difference blade. He comes at you again. Then you realize that you're still holding the shrunken head. Your head. You throw it as hard as you can at Uncle Darius. Direct hit. The tiny head collides with his large one. He falls down again. You turn and run. You tear down the hall. Where's Jamie? There hasn't been a sound since you threw the head at Uncle Darius. Maybe he's knocked out. That idea gets your heart rate back to normal. You come to a room you haven't seen before. Bookshelves line all 4 walls. Books, magazines, and handwritten notes cover the only table in the room. Then you hear something behind you. Uh-oh. You turn around slowly. Gulp. And then slowly turn to page 120.
That's 2 headshots for 1 throw.
I know. Double kill. Headshot?
Headshot.
Headshot. You sigh with a relief. Jamie stands in front of you, panting.
What is... Oh. Wrong person. I forgot whose Uncle Darius is for a second there again.
Yeah.
What's with your Uncle Darius?
You gasp.
That's not my Uncle Darius.
Is this when we find out it is our Uncle Darius and the Beware page was canonically right? I feel like no, but still. I'm trying to give him the BOTD. Jamie whispers.
Didn't you listen to what he said about other universes?
You think back to before your head showed up in a box.
Something about them being the same as this one?
You reply.
Except for one deadly difference. That's right.
She confirms.
But sometimes the same people exist in more than one universe. That Uncle Darius came from some other universe.
She shudders.
A nasty one.
You clutch your head. Other universes? More than one Uncle Darius? This is all happening way too fast.
So where is your Uncle Darius?
You manage to ask.
He must still be in the other universe.
She explains. Her forehead wrinkles with concern.
He told me about it once. The place where headhunting's the most popular sport. They even have game shows about it.
You gulp. Game shows? Then you have no about headhunting? Then you have a terrible realization. Hunt for page 71. Oh, Game Show Network.
I must exist in that universe too.
You stammer.
You used to exist, you mean?
Jamie corrects.
Until that evil Uncle Darius caught you and got your head. And now he wants a matching pair!
You cry.
Shh.
Jamie warns.
He'll hear you. I'm getting out of here.
You start for the hallway.
You can't.
Jamie declares.
I already tried that door. It's locked. The controls are in the lab. Great!
You exclaim.
We're dead! Not yet.
Jamie answers.
We can try and get to the Transvator and go after Uncle Darius. The real Uncle Darius. We can rescue him.
A chill runs up your spine.
Go to the Headhunter universe? That's crazy! Would you rather stay here?
Jamie asks.
With him?
Yes. Would you like to go to the universe where everyone is a headhunter, or be in this universe that you're familiar with one headhunter?
Mm-hmm.
This one. Put him in jail. Easy. Okay. Sorry. You gulp, putting one hand to your throat. She has... No, I'm not reading that one. She doesn't have a point. But all those headhunters will have a point, too. At the end of their long, sharp headhunting knives. Turn to page 44.
Now, Rio, one thing we haven't considered is we're not guaranteed an A unless we get Uncle Darius back.
Oh my god, then how will we ever get the bike Papa promised us?
It's always a bike.
Yeah.
The symbol of freedom.
Oh, I am a grown-up, Papa. Give me my bike, Papa. I swear I'll wear my helmet and not take it off as soon as I'm around the corner, Papa.
Immediately takes off helmet. I guess if we can rescue your Uncle Darius, he could help us with the crazy headhunter.
You say?
Or we could try and capture this Darius.
Jamie suggests.
And make him take us back to his universe. Then he could show us where the real Uncle Darius is. Capture him? How?
You demand.
Oh, we could use one of those inventions that are lying around the house.
Jamie explains.
There's loads of cool things.
You shake your head in confusion. This is turning out to be much more complicated than any science project, and a lot more dangerous. If you stay here, you'll have to face a knife-wielding maniac who wants your head. But if you try and find help in another universe, who knows what you'll find? Should you try and capture the evil Darius using the inventions in the house, or would you rather head for the Transvator and try and rescue the real Uncle Darius? Take the Transvator on 77, or try and capture the evil Darius on 27. So, does this imply that the first decision was a life or death, and bowling into him and rolling around on the floor to knock him over was the correct answer? I think it maybe was.
I think it might do.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, I led us into rolling into a man. Do you have a lean on using the inventions here or going to Headhunter Land?
This guy, this dude, this man invents crazy things.
Yeah.
I want to go through the Flubberhouse.
I'm glad that that's where you are, because sometimes when I say, do you have an opinion? I don't have an opinion. This time I had an opinion, but it was secret. And it was that one. So, wait. So what is that one? Does that try and capture the
That
evil
would be
Darius? Is that what that one needs to?
27 trying to capture evil Darius with the inventions in this house, then take him over to his own world.
Then,
Or, I don't know, take his head.
yeah, I was going to say, then we take
Turnabout's
his
fair
head.
play.
Yeah, only fair. Fair's fair. A head for a head. You'd rather try and capture the
Two
evil
eyes
head.
for 2 eyes.
Two eyes for an eyes for an eyes. You'd rather try and capture the evil headhunting Uncle Darius.
I don't want to go to any other universes.
You explain.
Especially a universe where my head is someone's paperweight. We'll need a weapon then.
Jamie says.
Let's take a look in the basement. That's where Uncle Darius keeps all these old inventions.
You creep out of the library, trying not to make a sound. Halfway down the hall, you pass a closet. A bright red sign on it reads, "Danger! Disintegrator! Disintegrator closet!"
Hey, Jamie,
You whisper.
what's this thing? Uncle Darius told me never to play with that.
She whispers back.
It's really dangerous. So come on, let's keep going. So are the headhunters.
You argue.
I say we try and lure Darius in there. Then we can threaten to disintegrate him. That'll teach him.
What do you think? Lure Darius into the disintegrator closet or head down into the basement for another invention? To use the closet, 45. To go to the basement, crawl to 72. Here's the thing. I thought they were going to go for a disintegrator closet. Oh, that must be where they keep the disintegrator. And then you go in and you get disintegrated. But they already did that. So now I'm like, is it the opposite? Is there a disintegrator weapon in there? And thus we don't want to lure him there? Is this now
Exactly.
a reverse bait and switch?
I think it's 100% that. I think this is the closet in which the disintegrator is. I think that we were told earlier by Jamie that the inventions of her uncle don't work out the way that you would expect from the way that they are named or otherwise designed, that they work in unexpected ways that are often detrimental, kind of like a monkey's paw effect. So, like, I'm reading all of these inventions in a monkey paw fashion. How could Disintegrator Closet go the worst for us? Either there's a disintegrator in there, or we, like, shove him in and then press disintegrate, and then the closet disintegrates and he's just standing there like, all right.
Yeah. So the question then, this is always the Goosebumps conundrum we find ourselves in now as seasoned, give yourself Goosebumps veterans. Do we want to explore how the disintegrator closet could go poorly because it sounds funny or not?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yep. I think we're definitely well within the period of our lives where we can choose to die for the fun of it.
Absolutely. What do you mean? I'm going to live a life where I don't go into a disintegrator closet? That's not barely a life worth living. No. Disintegrate me. Come on. It's a Tuesday. It's not. You decide to lure Darius into the disintegrator closet. You even have a foolproof plan. Okay, now I know it's going to go bad.
Get Darius to chase you back here.
You whisper to Jamie.
And I'll push him into the closet as soon as he runs past.
Jamie scowls.
Why do I get to be the bait? Who runs faster, you or me?
You demand.
Me. You've got a point, I guess.
She mutters. You position yourself in the bathroom across from the closet. You're glad Darius's house is so dark. There's no way he'll see you before you push him into the closet. Jamie walks down the hall and pretends to trip and fall.
Oh, my leg! Owie!
She cries, writhing on the floor as if in pain.
Help me! Quick!
Headhunter Darius's laughter rolls through the house.
I'm coming.
He calls.
Don't worry about a thing.
Heavy footsteps pound the floor. Peeking out of the bathroom, you see a shadowy form at the end of the hall. Jamie jumps up, still pretending to be hurt. She limps away from him. You gulp, preparing to leap. Darius charges after her. She picks up speed. Just as Darius runs by the bathroom, you leap out. Leap on to page 94. Wham! You crash right into Darius. He staggers and falls into the disintegrated closet, and you slam the door.
Got him!
You shout. You raise your fist in victory. Then a terrible crashing sound comes through the closet door. You and Jamie watch in horror as the wood starts to splinter. Darius is battering his way out.
Quick!
Jamie cries.
Push the disintegration button! I thought we were just trying to capture him.
You object?
He's getting out!
She yells.
We have to disintegrate him!
The idea of disintegrating anyone, cold-blooded murder, upon even a headhunter, makes you a little excited, queasy. I mean,
maybe
going
we
based
should
off of
run for
past
the
books, just
Maybe we should run for the basement. I'm not ready to commit my second murder.
you suggest. What should you do? Run for the basement and search for another invention you can use against Darius, or just disintegrate him right now? Think fast. Darius is seconds from his freedom. So, I mean, surely we have him trapped in a closet and have a button that says disintegrate. And we're on, I mean, not to metagame. We're on our, we're on our fourth choice. It's not going to kill him. So.
Yeah, it's not going to kill him, and this choice that we were certain was going to go wrong in some fashion has not yet gone wrong. I imagine pressing... Actually, I've come up with it. Finally, I think I recognize what this is. The disintegrator closet is the closet you get into to save yourself from the disintegration of the rest of the room. No, wait, but the button's on the outside. I don't know.
Well, hey. Now, okay. Do you want to do a detour to the page of death to explore how this goes wrong?
Yeah, disintegrate Darius. I mean, it's the same vibe as we had in our previous decision of let's choose to do the one that we think is going to be interesting and probably end the game.
Yeah, I mean, so far it's not penalized us yet. All right. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, this was not expecting this. You have to disintegrate Darius, you realize. There's no time to make another plan. It's him or you. Murder! You stab the big red button with one finger.
From hell's heart I stab at thee! Take that, Darius!
You shout. The closet door rattles and shakes. Smoke spews out into the hall. What's happening? You squint at the control panel in the darkness. Hey. Next to the button you press is a dial with two settings. Disintegrate and duplicate. And the dial is set to duplicate.
Uh-oh.
You murmur. You reach out to adjust the dial, but before you can touch it, the closet door springs open. Turn to page 31. Double quick.
You know, call it the disintegrator and duplicator closet. What are you doing?
It was DLC. New one.
No!
You gasp.
No!
Two Dariuses, Dariopodes, grin at you from inside the closet.
You idiot! You didn't murder him, you duplicated him!
Jamie shrieks. All to rack up the kill count, sweet cheeks. You reach to slam the door shut again. Too late. The two Dariuses burst out into the hall. One grabs you by the arms, the other grabs Jamie. They throw you both against the wall. Then they thrust both of their machetes against your throat. Why me, you wonder? Why not Jamie, your niece? You don't have to wait long for your answer.
Now we can complete our collection.
One Darius snickers.
We'll have a matching pair.
The other cackles. Well, at least they're happy. Sure, they are. After all, two heads are better than one. The end.
You know what? I really quite like the pun on this one. Two heads are better than one. The two of the Dariuses,
So
as
good.
well as their pair of our shrine. It works.
It works in both ways. It's beautiful. It's magnifique. It's perhaps the most elegant of the no, you idiot, you died. It's probably the most elegant of them.
Quite legitimately true. So we're instead going to continue down into the basement after knocking him into the disintegrator closet.
I do want to say, I do resent the fact that we are supposed to accept the justification for why they want our head is because they want a pair of them. Like,
I'm not certain that's the justification for why they want our head as much as something they're saying they can now achieve with our head. I wonder if it might be important in a later thing that, like, you know, there is a dupe of Jamie in that universe who often headhunts with him. If we go into the new universe, do we meet that Jamie and then get confused and blah, blah, blah. Like,
could be.
I think it's possible that it's hinting at a relationship there other than just niece, like headhunter protege.
Yeah. We'll remember that. I already forgot it.
Sorry, I'm just imagining, because it is
that.
in the context of like an uncle and niece as well, right? So like I'm imagining the version where, you know, you've seen these stories. This is a very typical American sports movie. Never mind, you haven't seen this.
Excuse me, what?
It's
American
where
sport?
the kid movie, maybe, but it's where the kid goes down into the basement and finds like the pitcher's glove, and then just comes upstairs with the pitcher's glove, and the dad's like, "Oh, yeah, they used to play baseball. Do you want to go around the backyard and toss the ball around, a little kiddo?" You know, something like that, right? But it's Jamie has gone down into the basement and found a machete and come upstairs, and Uncle Darius is like, "I used to cut heads off with all that time, haha."
Yeah.
You want to go cut some heads off, kiddo?
Okay, Uncle Darius. Can I have the big knife? Yes, sweetie.
Oh, it's not a knife. It's a faux particle in a knife. It's not a sword. It's not a knife. This isn't my voice.
Either way, you decide to run for the basement.
Come on!
You yell, bolting down the hall. You hear Jamie's footsteps pounding behind you. Then you hear a sickening crash as the door of the Disintegrator / Duplicator closet bursts open.
That way!
Jamie cries, pointing towards the lab. You spot the basement door ahead, but you can also hear Darius charging after you. You reach the door and yank it open. Jamie leaps through. You follow. She throws the bolt just as Darius crashes against the door. He pounds furiously on it. Will it hold? Seems to be holding. Woo! At least this door is stronger than the one on the Disintegrator closet, now featuring duplicator functionality.
We're stuck here.
Jamie mutters.
There's no way out except that door.
You gulp. Outside, there's silence. Darius seems to have given up on breaking down the door. For now. You glance at Jamie.
What exactly were we hoping to find in the basement?
Find out on page 25.
Oh, I'm ready for like an Arsenal selection screen.
Pick your raps. There you ask and receive, perhaps, in a slight way. Oh my god. This is like, okay, well, you know, maybe we're overhyping it a bit, but you'll see. Jamie turns on the lights. You peer down into the basement. Like the lab, it's crowded with all kinds of devices and mechanical parts. But everything appears old and dusty.
Does any of this stuff even work?
You ask. Jamie looks worried.
I hope so.
You push aside cobwebs as you rummage through the junk.
Hey, here's the pair of escalator shoes.
Jamie calls.
They lift you right off the ground. Maybe we could attack Darius from above?
She frowns.
At least that's how I think they work. Sounds good. What's this?
You hold up a dented metal hat.
A captivator helmet. Whoever wears it is under the control of your mind.
Jamie explains. Could be useful. But how would you get it onto Darius's head without losing your own? You also find something labeled eradicator. Okay. Jamie isn't sure, but she thinks it's supposed to make terrible noises.
Terrible enough to drive Darius out of his universe?
You ask. Jamie shrugs. You stare at each other, stumped. Which invention should you try? Escalator shoes, eradicator, or captivator helmet? I mean, at this point, like 3 options instead of 2 is about as inventory select as we can get, I think.
I have a question.
Tell it upon me.
Jamie
Yes.
previously told us about the
Yes.
escalator shoes.
Yeah, that's exactly
specifically
what I was
that
at, yeah.
she tested them. She knows. She was, hanging from the ceiling for hours or whatever it was. At least that's how I think they work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a reminder that this book also said that this is our uncle. So
Did,
I think,
but
yeah.
I do wonder, because this is just like another like Jamie isn't everything we expect kind of feeling. Like,
this is a Sans' Ness kind of a thing.
uh-huh.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean,
Ness Earthbound.
Sans Undertale is Ness Earthbound, not clickbait this time.
I do like the idea of a title that's like, it's not clickbait this time.
Last time it was for the views. This time I just have information I need to share. Sans Undertale is Ness Earthbound, and I have proof.
And my video is 10 minutes and 1 second long. Do we want to go for escalator shoes,
I
ear
have
eradicator,
their
or
birth
Tipital?
certificates. Sorry. I reject the end of this bit, and I must insert one more. Okay. Yeah, I mean, okay. So obviously escalator shoes are supposed to not work. Unless you want to explore the boom, boom, boom of it all, and I'm fine with that. It'd be most likely to find it there, I guess. I don't feel strongly between the other. Well, it's weird because Captivator Helmet tells us what it is and what it does, and she thinks that the ear eradicator is supposed to make terrible noises. But like, how does that not also impact us?
Well, I mean, speaking of how does that not also impact us, the Captivator Helmet, whoever wears it is under control of your mind.
Yeah.
How do we
does it
define
choose-
the controller?
Yes, I know. That's where I was. God, we need to ask. Excuse me. Did you put the Captivator Helmet on me, Raps? Because I think we have the same mind.
I wouldn't know because I don't know how it works.
Apparently you do. Because that's my same thing. That's my issue with that helmet too. It's like it says it's under control of your mind, but how? You put it on first. You have to put it on first to like prep it, set it, like plate up or something, and then you put it on somebody else. And I don't know. I have no strong feelings for real because all these options make me. I don't like any of them. That's where I'm at. So, do you have a lead, or should we literally just pick a number?
My lead is so small as to be imperceptible.
Bring it.
And it's for the ear eradicator because we know less about it. That's literally it.
That's the thing is, since we don't really know much about these inventions, except for the fact that they're probably not supposed to work how you would think, and she says it probably just destroys ears, or makes a loud noise. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's shaped like an ear and it eradicates. You know? I don't know. So 57.
Time for something drastic, I think.
You declare. You grab the ear eradicator. Looks like an old-fashioned gun. But instead of a regular barrel, it ends in a wide opening. Like an ear. Nope, like a mouth of a trumpet. You aim it at Jamie.
Pow!
Wow, you yell. You grin.
Be careful with that!
She shouts.
Don't shoot it until we put in these earplugs.
She hands you 2 gummy wads of wax. You shove the wads into your ears, and then you study the ear eradicator more closely. Weird, it has 3 triggers, each is labeled. You squint at the tiny writing next to each trigger. One label says fingernails on chalkboard. Another says dripping faucet. The last says dentist drill. Oh, do you have a least favorite of the 3?
Fingernails on chalkboard.
For me, it's the drill. I've just had, the root canal. Oh, don't take me back. Oh, don't take
Yeah,
it back.
it's not so much a
Yeah.
sense memory because like yeah, I've had dental work done and it needs some more done relatively soon.
Oh, yeah.
But fingernails on chalkboard has a like deep
Yeah.
emotional impact on me immediately. Like I cannot be
Yeah.
comfortable in the same space that is occurring. Whereas a dentist drill, I can kind of just tune out. Also, I will note for the very final thing that there are a lot of songs that I like in the experimental noise rap genre that include dentist drills as part of
Sure.
the song.
Yeah.
So for me, it almost has like a positive emotional impact.
Interesting. I don't feel the
It's like,
same.
okay, when's the verse start?
Yeah. Yeah. Interestingly enough, I feel fingernails on chalkboard in my teeth more than I feel dentist drill in my teeth. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, weird. All right. Those all sound pretty irritating. Jamie says something, but you can't hear her with your earplugs in.
What?
You shout. Whoa. You can't even hear yourself. Jamie points towards the stairs, and you follow her up to the door. She unlocks the bolt. You raise the weapon with trembling hands, and then Jamie kicks open the door. Take a peek on page 9.
It's you, Bookmaster.
Yeah?
I recently purchased earplugs myself, like quite good earplugs. If you put earplugs in and then speak, you can hear your voice very well, actually.
Yeah, you can actually, like, yeah. I'm in the same boat. That's when I hear myself the most.
Exactly. The way they tell you to confirm that they're working is if you can hear your own voice very well, then you've successfully, plugged everything.
Perhaps these are the, what are they called? Ear destroyers? What were they?
The ear eradicators.
Maybe these are the ear eradicators. Perhaps. Hey, there's no one in this lab. You reach up and pull one of the earplugs out. You need to be able to hear. You don't want Darius sneaking up on you.
Hey, Darius!
Jamie yells.
We want you to come hear something.
You wait, trembling. But you don't hear a sound. Jamie nudges you forward, and you creep out into the lab, imagining a huge machete swinging out of nowhere. The back of your neck tingles at the thought. You point the ear eradicator into the dark lab.
Be careful. He could be anywhere.
Jamie whispers behind you.
I know.
You snap, but she can't hear you. You inch forward, swinging the ear eradicator from side to side. Behind you, Jamie lets out a gasp. You spin around, and it's Darius. You fumble to put the earplug back into your unprotected ear, but you drop it. Darius raises his machete and throws it at your head. If you're lucky, you'll duck in time. So how lucky are you? Flip a coin. If you get heads, jump to 61, tails 123.
I flipped a coin.
Me too. What'd you get?
Tails.
Me heads. Okay, so I guess we get to do both if we want. So what was yours?
Mine was tails. Also, mine has a design on the tails side that says donation dollar. Give to help others.
Oh my god. If this one's wrong, this book hates charity?
Exactly. This book? This book is Scrooge?
Cringe. Okay, 123. Okay, 123. The machete hurtles towards you. It whistles through the air like a screaming bird of prey. You drop to the floor just in time, and the knife buries itself into the wall behind you with a thunk. I will say, I definitely thought that Heads was the bad option because it is a headhunter book. You gulp at how close it came to slicing your head off. But there's no time to think about that. Darius is running towards you. He pulls another, smaller knife from his belt. It looks like a small sword. You raise the ear eradicator. There's no time to put your earplug back in. You hope that one will be enough. You aim at the charging headhunter, pointing the weapon right at his head. Which trigger should you pull? Dripping faucet, fingernails on chalkboard, or dentist drill? So, I mean, under the guise of it being which one is the worst, I think that I can agree that fingernails on chalkboard is generally the worst, and dentist drill isn't as bad but has extra baggage.
Yes, but
Yes,
I
does he have
wonder-
baggage?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Is the extra baggage of a dentist drill, like, would that possibly imitate, like, cards on the table? I think this Darius doesn't know anything about these inventions here, right? He's been spending all of his time lopping off heads and covering them in salt. So I think really he's not gonna recognize that this is just playing the noise of a dentist drill and might think, oh, that laser beam is charging up or something like that. This is a very tiny, tiny, tiny thing. Whereas fingernails on chalkboard, I don't know, maybe he feels it in his teeth and immediately puts his hands to his head and stabs himself in the temple.
Yeah, probably.
It's just not dripping faucet. We agree on that, right?
See, but here's the thing. That's what makes me think that this is the whodunit. The dripping faucet is he who I least expect, and thus who I should most expect. Because I'm like, okay, by the same thing, baggage, yada, yada, yada. Dripping faucet could be the most, like, it's a distraction, like, oh, the room's gonna flood, or something. I don't know. Like, is there, I don't know. I
think it doesn't demand urgency in the way that the others do. A dripping faucet to me is like, I should fix that within the next couple of hours.
It's true. So are you leaning towards drill then? With like it's kind of the most middle in my head. It's like it is the medium most annoying, but has a lot of baggage potential to it. 23.
Let's go with fingernails on chalkboard because,
okay.
I also, so that'd be 84. Only because I think it is the one that, like, utilizes the ear-destroying potential of this as powerfully as it can.
Yeah. Well, all right. You decide to try fingernails on chalkboard. You've been meaning to get around to it. Your friends have recommended it. What sound is worse than that? You pull the trigger. A horrifying screech comes from the ear eradicator, and it feels as if someone is scraping a piece of sandpaper right along your nerves. You bite your tongue, hoping the pain will distract you. The horrible screeching seems to grow louder and louder. You're almost paralyzed with pain. You can barely keep your finger on the trigger, but you must. You squint at Darius. He's stopped coming towards you. He stands in the middle of the room, looking stunned. You squeeze your eyes shut as you force yourself to keep your finger on the trigger. And finally, you can't keep it up any longer. The ear eradicator drops from your exhausted hands. Silence at last, except for the ringing in your ear. You open your eyes. Headhunter Darius stands in front of you. Uh-oh. Why is he smiling? Turn to page 135. In my universe, bad sounds are good. He grins broadly.
Thank you. That's one of my 2 favorite noises.
He declares. You stare in disbelief. Is he serious?
What's your other favorite noise?
You stutter at last.
The sound of neck bones cracking when I twist them.
Darius laughs heartily.
But words can't describe that. Here, let me demonstrate it.
He grabs your neck in his powerful hands. Oh my, okay, this is, okay. Something about this gets me bad. He grabs your neck in his powerful hands. You're too exhausted to struggle much. Darius starts to twist.
Listen,
he commands. It sounds to you like this is the end. Sounds to you like... All right. Wow.
At least we know that he doesn't love the sound of a dentist drill.
I mean, yeah. Do you want to go to dentist drill then?
Oh, let's do it.
Yeah. I mean, wow. That is some I had a bowl of nails for breakfast without any milk. I love the sound of nails on a chalkboard. Like, that is some extra stuff right there.
Hey, he's not so different to me. If fingernails on a chalkboard were included in a clipping song.
Yeah.
Just saying, I might like it too.
There you go. You decide to pull the dentist drill trigger. Nothing could be worse than the sound of a metal screw boring into your teeth. You pull the trigger, and the lab fills with horrible screeching whine of a drill. Even with one ear plugged, it feels as if there's a whirling drill in your own mouth, and you can actually feel your teeth vibrate. Ugh. Darius writhes on the floor, his hands covering his mouth protectively. The noise is so awful that you can barely hold down the trigger, but you can manage. But finally, you can't stand it anymore. You release the trigger. The noise stops, and Darius seems to be knocked out cold. Drill your way to page 92.
We did it.
We did it. We killed the man. You rub your jaw. It's sore from clenching so hard. And your unprotected ear is ringing like a car alarm.
Quick!
Jamie cries as she pulls out her earplugs.
Let's put the Captivator helmet on him. Then we can make him take us to the real Darius.
Oh, this is the twofer. We get the Captivator helmet even though we did. Wow. You nod
I think if we took the Captivator helmet, it would have been like, oh, you need to subdue him first.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I think so. You nod your aching head. Jamie darts down to the basement and returns with the helmet. She kneels and you help her slip it on to the unconscious Darius.
All right, Darius, wake up.
Jamie orders. Darius lifts his head groggily. He seems confused. His eyes are glassy, but you aim the ear eradicator at him just in case.
Now, do a TikTok dance for us.
Jamie commands. Your eyes widen as Darius stands and dances a jig.
Wow, he really hit the gritty.
There it is. You shout.
That helmet thing really works. Great. Now all we have to do is go to the universe of headhunters and free Darius.
Jamie exclaims.
Oh, is that all?
You mutter. Turn to page 20.
All right, take us to Uncle Darius, now.
Jamie commands. Darius trudges into the lab, and you follow him into the transvator. He punches some buttons on the wall, and you gulp. Are you really going to another universe? A universe full of headhunters after you expressly chose the one that made you not? The transvator rattles and shakes. The lights flicker, and finally the machine quiets down. When the doors slide open, you peer out nervously. The room looks a lot like the lab you were just in, but the inventions are all tools for headhunting and head shrinking. Whoa, you have gone to a parallel universe.
Okay, now take us to Uncle Darius.
Jamie repeats. Darius plods ahead of you. He leads you to a door with a big "Keep Out" sign on it.
Open it.
You order. Darius reaches for the door, but his hands falter as he touches the knob. What's wrong? Then you realize he's staring at the "Keep Out" sign. Wow, he can't even disobey a sign. Should you tell him to take it off or take it off yourself? Either way, he's not going to go through that door until the sign comes down. To tell Darius to take it off, turn to page 133. To take it off yourself, turn to page 68.
I had mistakenly thought when reading through this page that the it referred to in taking it off would be the helmet, and that we would have to take the helmet off in order, like we're telling Darius to take the helmet off or to take it off ourselves. But realistically, it's the sign that we need to take off. However, if we tell Darius to take it off, he might take off the helmet. So let's take off the sign.
That's exactly where I'm at. We've just been
You are wearing a Captivator helmet right now, my man.
I am wearing a Captivator helmet right now, my man.
Ah.
So, wait, hold on. What page do I turn to?
That would be taking it off ourselves on page 68.
I am turning to page 68. My man. You rip down the sign.
Now, open that door.
You order. Darius obeys, opening the door to a set of stairs leading down.
Walk down the stairs.
Jamie commands. Darius plunges down the stairs into pitch darkness. Oops.
Ooh, wait. Turn on a light first.
You command. He reaches for a light switch and flicks it on. A huge explosion of sparks fill the air. Turn to page 117. What? The blinding flash startles you. It takes a moment before the spots clear from your eyes. When you can see again, you stare in horror. The evil Darius lies in a heap at the bottom of the stairs.
What happened?
You gasp.
It must have been a booby trap.
Jamie answers in a shaken voice.
To catch people trying to sneak in here, but Darius caught himself. Boy,
You mutter.
that helmet works too well. You shouldn't always do what people tell you.
Ba-bam, boom. Parents. You creep down the stairs and glance around the room. The only thing there is a machine the size of a refrigerator. You flinch when you hear a voice coming from it.
Help me! Help me!
Jamie opens the door of the machine, and you can't believe what you see. Turn to page 18. If it's the other uncle, I can absolutely believe what I see.
You can't believe it.
I
It's
can't believe
Uncle
it, my man.
Darius. Uncle Darius!
Jamie cries. That's right. It's the nice Uncle Darius, the one from your universe.
Aren't we glad to see you?
You blurt out.
It's good to see you too, kids.
He exclaims.
Now, get me out of this contraption before it shrinks my head.
You made it in time. You and Jamie pull Darius from the machine.
I'm glad you found me. Good work, kids.
He declares.
How did you do it?
With a little help from your captivator helmet and your headhunting double.
You explain, glowing with pride.
I'm just glad someone's using my inventions for a good purpose.
Darius comments as he leads you back to the transvator.
You've earned some extra help on that science fair project.
Science fair project?
You groan. You forgot all about it. The afternoon is almost gone and you haven't even started.
We're doomed.
Jamie mumbles.
Oh, it's due tomorrow. If only we could explain what happened.
You sigh.
I'm imagining, never mind, but no one would ever believe us.
Jamie's eyes light up.
Unless they had to believe us.
Turn to page 111.
I didn't want to predict the book too much, but like science fair project, I wish we could tell people about it.
Yeah. I mean, there we go. The next day, you and Jamie present your project to your science class.
So, how does this thing work?
Mr. Johnson, the teacher, asks.
Simple. You just put it on your head.
You explain. Mr. Johnson gingerly slips the dented metal helmet onto his bald head.
And now you say the class, you explain to the class rather that we're the smartest kids in school.
Jamie says.
While standing on one foot
You add.
and flapping your arms like a chicken.
Jamie finishes.
Right.
Mr. Johnson mumbles obediently. You sit back down to watch the show. This is definitely going to be the best science fair ever. The end. Good end. The end. I would say, looking back at my notes of failed paths, there is, aside from the one that we failed because we were like, let's see how this one ends, we only made one wrong choice. We only made one wrong choice on accident.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's definitely worth an A+ right there.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I enjoyed this one. It felt like a return to like a normal, standard, more linear, quasi-linear.
Yes.
But I do wonder if that's because we just picked the right answers. But in that case, I think it would be because the answers, like, they actually felt like they had a little bit more sense to them in a way. Like, the only, I actually love nails on a chalkboard. I mean, I guess we could have tried to see that. Like, I guess I did call on our way to that page, like, maybe in his universe, he loves it. But, like, So, like, I guess maybe we could have used the book's logic. There's something about, like, the book starting with that phrase, like, the inventions never work the way you want. That kind of gave you this call out to sort of how the book was going to work. And I think that maybe it just felt right because it kind of, like, sometimes the books jump between like, it's going to play choices logically and it's going to play choices intentionally illogically. And this, I think, because of that early call out, kind of it aligned with one of the angles more, and it made the choices feel like they kind of made sense, which was nice. It was nice to not feel fully baited and switched.
That is very, very true. Although,
oh no,
while we were, scrubbing through to get to a couple of the other pages, I did see a lot of, puzzles and things like that on other pages. I think if we'd gone into the other universe at the start, like, this is more of a linear story path, and it feels like the other one would have been more of a general puzzle path.
Yeah.
And it feels like more and more as we get deeper into the Goosebumps books, they have this specific divide rather than employing, like, just one puzzle. It's the puzzle path or the story path.
It does seem like it, and I almost wish that I knew which one we were getting into, because I don't know, sometimes I like the puzzles, even though it's an audio medium, etc., etc. I like puzzles. I like escape room. I like escape room.
I would like to, if we can very quickly, also check what would have happened if we had flipped heads and it allowed him to hit our head, for instance, on the chance. Because you can't kill me for flipping wrong, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they do, but, like, then for the unluckiest soul in the universe who flips, heads constantly, they just don't get to persist on that path ever.
Yeah. Let me check. That's why I always I have a coin that always flips the opposite side of you, just in case.
That's very useful.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out where the hell this even was. 25? Was that 9? I'm going back through all of the different things I have written down. Okay. So 61.
Jump or tumble? Oh, yeah, I guess jump, it still hits central mass.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I guess I can just read through it. If you fail the coin flip, which, note my phrasing. The long knife hurtles towards you, flipping end over end. It seems to be moving in slow motion. You throw yourself to one side, but it feels as if you are moving in slow motion too. You can tell you're not going to make it. Heads was not a lucky flip this time, because you are about to lose yours. The end. And that's exactly why I knew that heads was the wrong answer. Because there's a pun there.
Confirmed? R.L. Stein? Very, very charitable person.
Yeah, there it is.
Huge fan of the donation dollar.
Huge fan. Love to give. That's why he chooses to give Goosebumps. There's a better joke.
No. He gives us the tools to give ourselves Goosebumps.
Give a man a Goosebumps, so Goosebumps for a day. Give your man
to Goosebump.
Give your man to give yourself a Goosebump. Goosebumps all the life. There you go. Oh my god, I liked it. I liked it. It was a nice one. I enjoy this story where it just felt coherent. I don't know. Dang, that just felt coherent. Which is what a glowing recommendation for a book. But I mean, when you have a choose your own adventure book, that actually becomes a logical point.
Yeah, that's the high watermark you're hoping to clear consistently.
Yeah, it's like, in all accounts, it felt cohesive, no matter what path you take. That is actually praise. Where in a normal book, it's a backhanded compliment. But, yeah. Anything else you want to say about the book before we move on to the end stuff?
Not especially, no.
All right. Well, then, you plugged it up top, so I'll do the more cash plug at the end here on the Patreon, as it is a new thing. Basically, we would like to make the show better. It's kind of just, that's what it is. We would like to make the show better. We would like to cover the rest of the Give Yourself Goosebumps books. If you don't know, we've been reading them off of an archive online because they're just on archive.org. But not all of them are. We had a couple 2 sent in from Heather, and we otherwise would not have been able to read those. But instead of just hoping for a charitable donation of time and things like that, or of like someone scraping, a local thrift store or something like that, every single whatever, to get the rare books we need, we have a Patreon now. So if you want to help out and help us do the remaining books that we don't otherwise have access to, there's a very tangible way to help us make that happen now. And that's patreon.com/turntopagecast. There's the 2 different tiers there. You want to tell us about one of the tiers and perhaps enact it?
Exactly. Sure. Yes. Exactly is not the word I was looking for, but I knew there was an
Exactly.
approval phrase I was looking for. This episode features the executive production of Justice Tom, Judge Justice Tom, who supports the hardcover tier and is the executive producer for this episode. It's going to become a little more smooth as we go on into the future of this episode, executive produced by Ba-da-ba-da. But for the moment, that's what the hardcover thing does. And in this episode, it's Judge Justice Tom.
I want to say thank you, Justice Tom. We'll make up for it
Thank you,
in sloppiness by just saying the name a lot. Justice Tom. 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 There, we made up for the sloppiness with quantity.
Justice of the Peace, Tom.
Justice Tom is a gamer god. I must put that out there.
Yeah.
Just
Anytime I'm going to try and learn a game, the person who is currently playing it now in my Steam's friend list is always Justice Tom.
yeah, it's true. That is correct. So shout out there, and also thank you for the support of the hardcover tier on Patreon. But other than that, hey, if you want to help the podcast for free, there are also some things you can do, and that is subscribing to the youtube.com/@turntopagecast. If you want to subscribe over there, leave likes on the videos, stuff like that, comments whenever you have them. It's another wonderful, completely free way to help grow the channel. If
Another wonderful and completely free way to support the channel would be reviewing the podcast on any of the websites that you use to hear, listen to, or peruse said podcast. Would be much appreciated. Helps us get it out to new ears.
It's true. If you think about it, it's kind of like, hey, if you can't financially support the show, you can basically, through alchemy, create new people who maybe can. So there you go. You can financially help support the show without doing it that way.
I recently watched 64 episodes of an anime that told me very conclusively you cannot use alchemy to create people.
Well, I guess I'm done here. I'm done. Bye-bye.
You can use it to make reviews that then attract people, though.
That is okay. I guess that's where I was wrong. I thought. Wait. When we're getting new viewers, we're not I thought that we were creating people in like a lab. These are real people? Oh, now I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, everyone.
Oh no. I'm gonna go and contemplate this for a while. I thought that these were all lab-grown audience members. Uh-oh. All right. Well, I'm off to nowhere. There's a better tie-in to the name of the book, but that's where I'm going. Nowhere. Bye-bye.
And I'm off to hunt some heads. Adios.